Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, listeners, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of exercise science. I am your host, Steve, and I'm here to help you understand the latest research in exercise science, health science, and fitness trends to supercharge your fitness journey. Today, in this episode, we are exploring a topic that has been gaining a lot of attention in the fitness world: variable resistance training (VRT) versus constant resistance training (CRT). Are you ready to discover what method packs the most punch for improving maximum strength? Stick around because we are about to break it all down for you. Today's research its title is Effects of Variable Resistance Training versus Constant Resistance Training on Maximum Strength, a systematic review and meta-analysis. It's from the journal International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health. Let's start with the basics. Greater muscular strength is closely linked to superior athletic performance. Whether you are jumping higher, sprinting faster, or throwing further. But how do we maximize our strength gains? This brings us to two popular training methods. The first one is variable resistance training (VRT), and the other one is constant resistance training (CRT). The VRT mainly involves changing resistance throughout the movement. For example, you might use the resistance bands or chains that make the exercise harder at specific points. On the other hand, the constant resistance training is to keep the resistance constant throughout the exercise, like lifting a standard dumbbell or barbell. In fact, both methods have their merits, but which one is scientifically proven to deliver better results? That's exactly what a recent meta-analysis set out to investigate. Let's dive into the details. First, we have to break down the methodology and scopes of this study. As a matter of fact, this is a meta-analysis study. It searched through the extensive database like the PubMed, Web of Science, and Google Scholar to studies published up to January 2022. Ultimately, 14 high-quality studies met the criteria for inclusion. Researchers focus on how VRT and CRT affect maximum strength in both trained and untrained individuals. There are several key factors analyzed included. The first one is the training status. Are the subjects beginners or experienced lifters? The second one is the training modality, which means the method that those lifters use, either VRT or CRT. And the last one is the outcome measures, how maximum strength was evaluated. To ensure accuracy, the researchers used the Cochrane collaboration tool to assess bias of risk. So rest assured this study is robust and reliable. Let's talk about the results. Who will benefit most from the variable resistance training? For this moment, you have been waiting for the results. In fact, For all subjects, the variable resistance training led to greater improvements in maximum strength compared to constant resistance training, with an effect size of 0.8. Among trained individuals, those using VRT with a load of over 80% of one repetition maximum saw significantly greater gains than those using constant resistance training, with an effect size of 0.76. Interesting, no significant differences were found when the load was less than 80% of one maximum repetition. For the untrained individuals, the result took an exciting turn. The variable resistance training showed a whopping effect size of 1.34, indicating that massive strength gains compared to constant resistance training. When the load was less than 80% of one repetition maximum, untrained individuals saw even more dramatic improvements with variable resistance training, boasting an effect size of 2.38. However, when the load was over 80% of one repetition maximum, there were no significant difference between variable resistance training and constant resistance training. So you might curious about what does this mean. For experienced lifters, heavier loads with variable resistance training are the key to unlocking strength potential. On the other hand, for beginners, lighter loads with variable resistance training work wonders. So what about the practical applications? Now let's talk about how can you do to apply these findings to your daily training. Whether you are new to resistance training or a seasoned pro, there is a takeaway here for everyone. For the beginners, if you are just starting your fitness journey, consider incorporating lighter variable resistance training loads, which means below 80% of your one repetition maximum into your training routine. This could using resistance bands during the squat, bench press, or any kind of compound movements to gradually build your strength. For the advanced lifters already who had the experience under your belt, you might aim for heavier variable resistance training loads, which means it's more than 80% of your one repetition maximum to maximize your strength gains. You may use the elastic bands or chains added to barbell. It might be the great options. How about for the coaches and trainers? You might tailor your training programs based on the individual's experience level, and you can decide whether to use the variable resistance training strategically to optimize results. This research highlights the importance of customizing resistance training to suit each person's goals and ability. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Actually, variable resistance training can be a game changer when used correctly. So that's the wrap for today's episode of Exercise Science Weekly. I hope you find those insights helpful and are as excited as I am to incorporate those different kind of master, either the elastic band or the chain, into your daily training or workout routine. Remember, whether you are a beginner or a professional trainer, the right strategy can make all the differences. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your workout buddies. If you got any questions or topics you would like to cover in this Exercise Science Weekly episode, you might drop them in the comments or reach out on my social media. Until the next time, keep pushing your limits and stay strong.